material. Our focus on ways makes us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
The unfolding legal and political confrontation between Senator Natasha Akpabio and Senate President Godswill Akpabio has reignited public discourse on the sanctity of the rule of law in Nigeria and, of course, in Nigeria's democratic framework. At the heart of this matter lies a brewing constitutional debate regarding the rights of lawmakers, institutional integrity, and the extent to which personal or political grievances may override legal processes. As Nigeria continues to grapple with issues of governance, transparency, and justice, a critical test case will be that, Natasha versus Akpabio saga will be that the rule of law prevail, or will it politically collapse the legal propriety in the system, right? Some of these maneuvering that happens politically. So it's another wonderful episode on your favorite primetime show, Ways. My name remains Osayuame Sale, and today, of course, our focus is on Natasha versus Odwara. And the legal battle, we're asking what it is, right? What it reveals about the state of the rule of law in Nigeria. Now, remember, Ways is all about you. You are the why in Ways. So be a part of the conversation. It's you and I tonight. So please call us, send us a message. You can also head on to our YouTube channels at Official Upgrade TV, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch as you share the links as well with them. When I open the phone lines, as I said, it's you and I tonight. So please call and let me hear your thoughts on this topic. My quote for today, as always, let me allow you to ponder on it. That they have been denied entrance to the National Assembly is a statement being made. It's on record that the National Assembly under Akpabio has decided to be in contempt of a court decision, and it's quite ironic that they are lawmakers. And this was from the Senator herself, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Onuara. So we'll delve into the conversation around Senate President Godswill Akpabio versus Senator Onuara, and of course, if, what in Nigeria. We'll delve into all of that much later. But first, let's run off on a break. When I come back, I'll All right, thanks for staying tuned. So at least 16 states of the Federation are yet to implement the 65-year retirement policy for teachers. Now, this comes 5 years after the policy was first announced by the late former President Muhammadu Buhari, and the late, during the 2020 World Teachers Day. He promised that teachers in Nigeria would enjoy a new retirement age. And of course, the Federal Executive Council in January of 2021 approved that bill, which was transmitted to the National Assembly in June. And the states that, or the affected states are Abia, Adamawa, Anambra, Bauchi, Ekiti, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Katsina, Kwara, Lagos, Niger, Ogun, Oyo, Rivers, Sokoto, and of course, NUT, however, has said that though the implementation had commenced in Nasarawa, the state government imposed stringent conditions. So this is what we are saying no. One will put a law, another one will say, okay, we will take our time. What exactly is the law? Because you see, every decree that President Trump has signed, every decree is immediate effect. They don't even wait 2 seconds. They don't implement. So why is it that it always takes time, to implement some of these things in Nigeria? It doesn't just make any sense to me, right? Let's move away from that. Now, the federal government has revealed that privately owned computer-based test centers and others belonging to public institutions would be fully deployed in the conduct of the school-based senior certification examinations by next year. And this was from the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa. He made this known after monitoring a pilot CBT SSCE conducted by the NECO, that's the National Examination Council, at the SASCON International School in Maitama. He said that WAEC and NECO exams are school-based exams being conducted at their schools. So no, we will move away from that. He says it's going to be like the way JAM exams are being conducted at CBT centers. We have thousands of CBT centers across the nation. Those are centers that we are going to use. It's not the case. It's not the case that students do not have the facilities. No, it says schools do not have the facilities. We have enough people. We also have to expand the value chain of these CBT centers. They should not just be servicing JAM alone. That's what he's saying. They should be able to service WAEC and NECO. The proprietors of these businesses and the owners of these businesses have invested billions of naira to set up these CBT centers. So we also have to help develop a new value chain in our economy. And you want to use that experiment with our WAEC students. Praise the Lord, oh single. My son has finished. I don't have any child writing WAEC. Did you see the catastrophe that happened in JAM? Like literally, right? Even though my son scored over 300, I know that he struggled with, the center he was writing. Some of his friends, their system just shut down and it wasn't coming up. For 1 good hour, they were struggling for the systems to come up. Well, let me do the Nigerian way. As the matter now, my children have left that WhatsApp group, so I will carry myself because it's like my mouth is smelling when I'm talking. They don't want to listen. You cannot put the cart before the horse. What is power situation in Nigeria? Right? Even these computers that you're talking about, how efficient are they? A lot of them are outdated. Right? Their processing, processor, what do you call them? They are outdated. So how can you, with all the issues we saw in this year's JAM, you're not still insisting that you want to add WAEC and NECO to it? Good luck to you. It's the parents that are keeping quiet that I blame. It's not really you. I'll move on to my final story for the day. This is on a sad note. At least 27 people, mostly children, were killed after a Bangladesh fighter jet crashed into a school in the capital, Dhaka. A government official said on Tuesday, while updating an earlier toll of at least 20 dead. Most of the victims were school children who had just been let out of class when the Chinese-made F-7BJ-1 aircraft slammed into the Milestone School and College. And the crash, which is the country's deadliest aviation incident in decades, left more than 170 people injured. Bangladesh military on Monday had said the pilot, Flight Lieutenant Twakir Islam, was on a routine training mission when the jet reportedly encountered a mechanical failure, and the pilot tried to divert the aircraft away from densely populated area, but despite his best effort, crashed into the 2-story building, school building. This is very, very sad. Just a very sad situation. Oh, gosh. When you hear stories like this, I don't even know what to think about the parents of these children, how they'll be feeling right now, the families as well. It's just sad. My heart goes out to all the people that have lost their loved ones, and I'm hoping that, they just find, I don't even know what to say, they find comfort, It is well. We'll take a break. When we come back from that break, let's discuss Natasha and Akpabio. Stay with us.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
All right, so today marked a very troubling moment in Nigeria's democratic journey as Senator Natasha Akpabio was reportedly denied entry into the Senate chambers. Now, the incident, which comes amid her ongoing dispute with Senate President Godswill Akpabio, has raised serious concerns about institutional overreach, political intimidation, and of course the erosion of parliamentary independence. As questions mount over the legality and motives behind this action, many are asking whether Nigeria's legislative body is upholding the principles of fairness, representation, and the rule of law, drifting further into a culture, or they are drifting further into a culture of silencing dissent. All right, so let me call for that video in case you did not see it on social media. I mean, a lot of people went live, so let me apologize in case you hear any insultive language there, but let's watch this video and I'll be right back.
Stand and move away. Two people have come here. They say they are security and they have left. Okay, why are you stopping us? Mister, why are you stopping us? Alpha, road not there. Why are you stopping us? Oh! Messi has done the commission. He doesn't have a representative. They speak English. They touch me. Come on, Roddy! Why this stop doctor? They speak English. Come on, Roddy! Come on, Roddy! Come on, Roddy! Come on, Roddy! Come on, can't let her go in. Police, don't step back. Police, don't let them use you. Step them back. Don't let them use you. Stand aside. Stand aside.
Now you see my Edo sister there, as in, so you come on, body, Edo people, our blood, they also, in case you did not know, and once an Edo person carry your matter for head, we know they back down, and the truth is that we are very loyal to the core. We go carry your matter, even if it would cost us our life, we will carry your matter for head, and that's what we've seen here. A lot of people came out to escort Senator Natasha, according to the report, right, by the time she got to the gate, they did not allow them to drive in, so they all had to park their cars, and they walked to the gate of the Senate, and they were denied entry into the chamber. So here are the issues, right? So the denial of Senator Natasha's entry into the Senate, of course, building, despite a court order, it raises a concern about the respect of the rule of law and the judiciary's authority. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I was saying that, see, I don't have a problem with whoever is president, whoever is governor, anything you want to be, please be, by all means. What I have a problem is how we allow impunity and immorality to continue to thrive in this country. Let me tell you something. When you say it is okay, since it is me, it's okay for me to break the laws, you have given room for any other person to break the laws without being questioned. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Because for every time we see things like this happen, it has a multiple effect. There's a ripple effect. You would continue to have people just go do things anyhow. So what the Senate president, right, or what the Senate is telling Nigerians is that they do not respect the judiciary, they do not respect court orders, they don't respect anything. And what you have indirectly said to Nigerians is that it is okay if tomorrow we have a court ruling and we also flout those rules, or we do not obey the rules from the courts. Then if we are breeding lawlessness, where are we headed? Tell me where we are headed. There's another issue that this incident has highlighted, and that is the tension between the legislative arm and the judicial arm of government. This raises questions about the separation of powers and checks and balances. Now, you have an executive, you have the legislators, and you have the judiciary. Normally, in a very sane place, these three bodies, they are supposed to be checkmating each other. They are supposed to ensure that nobody goes overboard, because they say that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. If now Senate is saying that it is okay, judiciary, do your own, but you see this one will not respect it, what you are, of course, saying is that you do not respect that power. And the person that is supposed to put you in check, there is nobody to put you in check. It means you can do whatever you please and not let all hell be let loose. That is what you have said. A third implication, democratic principles. This situation undermines, right, democratic principles like the right to representation and the will of the people as expressed through elections. Two things. The senator, Natasha Akpabio, she is not an appointee. She is not your staff. She was duly elected. She wasn't selected. She was duly elected by her people, her constituency. Now you have denied representation, and you also have denied them the will for them to express what they have gone to the ballot boxes to to print, to thumbprint. You are not attacking Senator Natasha Akpabio. You are attacking that entire constituency that she represents. That's what you're doing as the Senate. And now you are allowing one man, which is the Senate president, decide for all these lawmakers that are supposed to be independent. So it means that person we want to elect, and we put the person in the Senate to go and represent our interest. You, Senate President, what you have said to Nigerians and the world is that you have the right to throw away our representative. That's what you've done. Political struggle, another implication. Because this case illustrates the challenges of navigating political power struggles, which individuals and groups may prioritize their interests over the rule of law and democratic principles. So where you are what you are doing now, you are just playing, you understand? Make it be, say, no problem. It means that there's clearly, you understand, even though everybody was duly elected, some people, they say all fingers are equal, but some fingers are more equal than others. That's what you have said. That's what you're saying. That's what you're implying. And the implications of this, let me tell you. And you see, when I have not said, see, you know, in this Nigeria matter, I've said it. You guys can go ahead and do whatever that pleases you, right? As our leaders, keep doing it. But you see, all these things, you know how they do them. What is waiting for you in front? I don't think any of us can contain it. What is waiting for us in front? The more we continue to ignore the rule of law, the more we continue to, you know, twist the arm of law, the more we continue to tweak things just to favor us. What we are doing is we keep digging that pit. You understand? That we all will eventually fall inside. Now, here are the implications. Erosion of trust. Denying Senator Natasha entry into the Senate despite court order. This clearly will erode trust in the legislative branch. You are telling us that you do not have integrity. That's what you're saying to Nigerians. You do not have integrity, and you're also making us not to trust the democratic process. Because these are the reasons a lot of people would rather go and do jungle justice, go on the street to protest, because they feel like you do not have the moral integrity to uphold my interest. So I'd rather fight for myself. That's what you're doing. And I don't know how the Senate, they are not seeing this. I don't know how the executive arm of government, they are not seeing this. If we continue like this, that we get to a place where we are lawless in this country, what happens? What is not Senator Natasha you are destroying? You are destroying the very integrity of that house. That's what you are doing. You are telling people that it is okay to do anyhow. For how long can we continue like this? The incident may undermine the authority of the judiciary, which is essential for upholding the rule of law and the democratic principles. What you have said today is that all this nonsense that they say go to court, it is what I say that matters. You are undermining the authority of the judiciary. And I don't know why what's it called? It's supposed to be Attorney General of the Federation. Why you are quiet about this? Because what they have just told you as the Attorney General of the Federation, they've told you that your courts don't count. Whatever judgment and all your judges, all of them put together, they are under their armpits. Nothing can come out of it. And this case that you're seeing, right, is definitely going to set a precedent for future disputes where politicians will feel, right, emboldened to disregard court decision. That's what you're doing. I don't know how, make it make sense. I'm trying to see where the positive in all of these things are. The only thing you are doing is that, yes, I want to show her that, yes, I'm more powerful than her. But not be how they do. You're destroying the very fabric of the institution that you are sitting over, that gives you power as the number 3 citizen of Nigeria. That's what you have done. Now, the concept of rule of law, right, is fundamentally, is foundational to any democratic society. This concept of rule of law, it is the very foundation that holds the democratic processes, right? Representing a system where laws govern the actions of individuals, institutions, and the state. That is what rule of law is supposed to be. It's a foundation. That's what keeps us sane. Everybody have an iota of madness in them. That's what we do not know. Everyone has an iota of madness. The only thing that differentiates us or that keeps us sane is the fact that we know if I exhibit this my madness, there would be a law that would throw me in jail or do something to me. So I'd rather keep my madness inside my head and not not display it. But when you undermine this rule of law that is supposed to represent what helps to govern the actions of people and institutions and the state, what do you think you're doing? It is this rule of law that ensures that there's fairness, that there's equality, there's justice, while it provides mechanisms to hold individuals and power structures accountable. Senate President Akpabio, what you have said to us today is that you are not accountable to anybody. That's what you have said by the actions that you display today, instructing that the the Senate doors be shut against your fellow senator that was duly elected by her own people. Now, in the context of governance, particularly in Nigeria, the respect of rule of law remains very crucial in democracy, upholding individual freedoms and fostering public trust. Now, let us look at all the drama that have been happening since the 2023 general elections, where they said, go to court. They went to court. Now, imagine if somebody like Atiku Abubakar said, no, I cannot respect that court judgment. I must fight. He tells his people, go on the street and fight. Peter Obi says, obedience, go on the street and fight. What do you think will happen? It is chaos and catastrophe. I must fight. He tells his people, obedience, go on the street and fight. Catastrophe. But everybody respected them having, I know, respected it. Same with the Edo elections that were just concluded. You can tell clearly that Aso Ighodalo was not, happy with that ruling, and he had a lot of reservations about that ruling. But because the court has declared it, he has no other option than to uphold it. Even if you want to do anything, at least pretend that you respect the rule of law for the sake of the people that are watching you and the people that are coming behind you. Because it is very crucial in sustaining our democracy and upholding individual freedoms and fostering public trust. Rule of law in Nigeria's democracy constitution, it guarantees a lot of things. It guarantees that fundamental human rights are upheld. It guarantees freedom of speech. It guarantees equal protection for everyone under the law. It guarantees access to justice and a lot of things. It guarantees that you, Senate President, tomorrow, if somebody is trying to oppress you, that has superior power over you, it guarantees your safety. It guarantees that you find justice. I see the judiciary that is supposed to uphold this rule of law. They are now subject to political pressure. Because now it can't they look like, say, what do they call her? Politicians. Now politicians be the judge and the jury. They be the executor and the everything. Why? Right, why? You see this subject of corruption, right? Corruption within both public and private institutions and law enforcement agencies, it continues to weaken our system, especially our legal system. Whether we choose to accept it or we choose to ignore it, right? Corruption has eaten deep into the fabric of our institutions in Nigeria, and it's very sad. You see, one time now, the corruption might be favoring you. Tomorrow, that corruption will be working against you. What would you do? That is why you see, every single time there's a power switch, right? A lot of politicians, you see them cross-carpeting because they know our institutions are very weak. Very weak. Sometimes laws are not even consistently enforced. Even though sometimes that they have completely, look at what has happened now. They have declared it. To enforce it, no problem. And this is leading to a lack of accountability for those that are in power. Institutional weakness, weak legislative arm, weak judicial arm, even the executives. You can't run away from the rule of law if you want to have a society, that would prosper. You cannot run away from the rule of law. And you see institutions that are supposed to uphold this rule of law. Look at the judiciary. They're supposed to be the arbiters of dispute. And judiciary, they play this vital role in maintaining the rule of law, ensuring laws are upheld and enforcing accountability. But yet, see what has happened today. Legislative arm of government say they no go respect judicial. Meanwhile, legislative and executive arms, right, they are the ones that must be, they create those laws and they execute it in accordance with democratic principles, respecting their roles to ensure that there's checks and balances. So if tomorrow now, the person that's supposed to create laws, the lawmaker, right, is the one flaunting the law, how ironic is that? And if tomorrow his own laws that he creates is not upheld, does he have the moral justification to say he wants to fight another person? And that is why you see a lot of civil society organizations is not upheld. The media, the activists that went out, Tarandi was there, Miss P was there. I mean, there were lots of, to play those critical roles in trying to force the government to do what is right. I'm so happy that for the first time when I saw the video, you can see that the police clearly stayed away from interfering. The police clearly stayed away from interfering because they just had their own protests yesterday, protesting their own pension issues. When rule of law is disregarded, citizens, see, as it is now, Nigerians have lost trust in all government institutions. And this is what I'm saying. I am just praying that it does not get to the stage where Nigerians will think that they need to take laws into their hands since they are not able to find justice. That is what I'm praying against. Because the more you continue to do this disregard of rule of law and continue to lead with this your authoritarian lifestyle, where it's based on your personal rules instead of the legal rules, right? You are going to cause political instability in this country. And this is not me calling for violence. It's a simple fact. I don't know why we cannot just put them on the table and analyze it ourselves. What have you said to people? You are violating human rights. You are violating citizens' rights. So many issues around illegal detention. So many issues around suspension. Exploiting people. All of these things are happening because we do not have, right, respect for the rule of law. There is widespread abuse of power, outright widespread abuse of power, and violation of our fundamental human rights. And if we continue like this, what do you expect will be the end result? If it is not going to be chaos and catastrophe. And this is not me trying to preach doom. No, it's just the fact. So I'll say to you again, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, you are not attacking Natasha. What you are attacking is the very fabric that holds a democratic process in place in a country. That's what you are attacking. And I wish today never happened. But sadly, this is where we are. I'll go on a short break. When I come back from that break, I'd like to open the phone lines and hear your thoughts on this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, so if you just tuned in, we are having a conversation, Natasha versus Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Her battle, legal battle with the Senate President and what it reveals about the state of the rule of law in Nigeria. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also leave your comments on our YouTube page. We will read your comments. The phone lines are also now open, 07025007749 or 07014242420 to be nice for us to hear what you have to say. As I said earlier, right, the Senate President, the Senator Natasha Akpabio, she was denied entry into the National Assembly today. She had to park her car and they had to walk on foot, all the way to the gate, and yet they were denied entry. And as we know, in a day or two, the Senate will go on their annual break, for 2 months. And so when they are back, she hopes to come back to resume her what's it called, her duties as the senator representing, is it Kogi? Which of the Kogi part of Kogi now? Is it I forget the part of the Kogi state that she's representing. So now here's the thing. We have to find a way forward to this madness. And I am really hoping that, I'm sure I'm not the only one talking about this. I'm hoping that any of the videos that have gone viral will get to the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. And I really want him to understand the implications of his action. As long as we continue to think that it is okay for us to disregard the rule of law in Nigeria, what we are just doing as a people who are just digging our own graves is a simple thing. One day we might wake up and not find a country, not because the country was not meant to do well or was not meant to thrive, was just because some people decided that, they were bigger than the country and they were bigger than the institutions in the country. And that's what we're seeing. We can't keep going on and on like this. Like sometimes I always ask myself that, are these people not tired? Right? Are they not tired of the way things are in the country? And like, right? Are they not tired of? Obviously, it doesn't seem like they are tired. All right, so let me start. It starts by transparency review Senate procedures. I don't know now who is supposed to be in charge, right? But there's an urgent need for a comprehensive review of Senate internal procedures to ensure that they are transparent, fair, and in line with constitutional principles. So now I'm thinking, who is supposed to hold the Senate accountable? The only office I can think of that can hold the Senate accountable is the office of the Nigerian citizens. That's what I think. Because you see, that thing that they opened our eyes to in the process of trying to recall a senator that was duly elected by her people, they have also showed us as Nigerians that we can recall them. So why are we not even exploring that option? Because the only way we can check these people is that the people are the ones in charge of checkmating them. Because as we can clearly see, they do not respect the judiciary. Of course, they will not even respect the executives as well, because they are all hand in hand with the executive committing their atrocities. Right? And this, if we truly put them in check, right, after ensuring that there's a transparent, fair, and of course it's also in line with constitutional principles, it will help to prevent future incidents of silencing or excluding lawmakers unjustly. Because till today, as it stands, the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpabio was illegal, was not constitutional. And yet, nobody is, for the fact that the executive arm are not stepping in on this situation, the judiciary cannot do anything, it just tells you that as a Nigerian, the power to put things in place and do some factory resets in the constitution of what is going on in the Senate, it lies in your hand as a Nigerian citizen. It tells you that as a Nigerian, the power to put things in place and do some factory resets, exercising that, become complacent, and we are forward will be orders. Now, and this can it's going to still go back to us as citizens, because the Senate has to ensure strict adherence to its standing orders, which are meant to safeguard the right of all senators to participate in debate and contribute to legislative affairs without fear of retaliation. Now, in all of this, it is one person that is fighting Senator Natasha Akpabio. What are the remaining senators doing in that house? You see why I'm saying that if Nigerian people, if we do not wake up, nothing is going to change in this country. Senator Natasha is just a symptom of the bigger problem, the bigger sickness. She's just one symptom. What we're seeing is that this is how far we have deteriorated as a people. And until we decide to wake up, nothing will change. To strengthen the rule of law in the legislative process, right? And of course, the independent oversight of the Senate, we must find a way to have independent bodies get back their power. Bodies like your judiciary, we'll still go back to them. Because sadly, we are in a democracy. We are in a democracy. So civil society organizations, the judiciary, the media, bodies like your judiciary, we'll still go back to them. Because sadly, we are in a democracy. All must be more proactive in monitoring, ensure that they are conducted in compliance with the rule, and we can't be keeping quiet and saying, "Na dem sabi." Because if not for anything, especially this, what assembly now is this called? Is it the 9th assembly? What assembly? They have proven to us. You understand? They have proven to us that anything that can go wrong in a Senate chamber has gone wrong there. Because if not, why would we even be having this conversation today? Why would we be having the conversation today? You are supposed to be, how ironic is it? You are a lawmaker, and yet you cannot obey simple laws. You cannot uphold the rule of law. The leadership of the Senate, and especially the Senate President, Akpabio, you have to ensure that all senators, regardless of their political affiliation or gender, or what's it called, or maybe loyalty to you, or, and all of that, regard for you or not, they are treated equally and are allowed to perform their duties without political interference. It's a simple thing. Senate President Akpabio, you did not elect Senator Natasha Akpabio. You did not. It was her people that elected her. So whether she chooses to smile with you, or she chooses to be friends with you, she chooses to be loyal to you, or subservient to you, or not subservient to you, that is not, you did not elect Senator Natasha Akpabio. She chooses or subservient to you. That is not. The role does not allow you to be. And it's so glaring in the eye of a lot of people. It's been a personal issue. And I said it from day one. Step aside, let the matter be properly investigated. You refuse to do that. Now we are seeing it clearly. First of all, the case is between you and her. It was the Nigerian government that was suing her against, that was suing her on your behalf. Now, a court has put a ruling. Instead of you to allow things to flow, you said no, you went to write to an appeal. Was it the Senate? It's just so confusing. Please help me out. I'm tired. But you're supposed to allow these people perform their duties without any political interference or any interference at all. Not that you are. No. So no matter what, even if senators choose not to be friends with you, that should not stop you from allowing them to perform their senatorial duties. And we have to go back to the judiciary because there has to be judicial intervention and legal remedies. Court redress for alleged right violation. If the Senate continues to suppress Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaga's contribution or deny her access to the Senate, legal action should be taken. This is now the time where the Nigerian judiciary should sue the Senate. Abi? Since the government can sue on behalf, or a body can sue on behalf of somebody, the Nigerian judiciary should sue the Senate and invite them for questioning and charge them, to the law court to come and answer why they are not allowing a fellow senator that they have already given a court ruling. Why are they not allowing that court ruling to stand? The judiciary should be ready to intervene in this situation to protect the right of lawmakers and uphold the Constitution. Since the lawmakers have decided that they would ignore and flout their own laws and the laws of the judiciary, then the judiciary have to step in. What is the Attorney General of the Federation? What are you saying about this case? Are you keeping mum and waiting for instructions from above? Or you are actually looking at the situation critically and how it is going to impact, right, your constituency, your institution as the upholders of laws in Nigeria? Because all of these things, you think it is ending at the Senate. It's not ending there. It's going to spread very wide. That man on the street will feel like, I can't take this matter to court, because even if I take it to court, even if they give me court ruling and this person is instructed to make amends, the person can decide to flaunt it. So let me just take laws into my hands. That is exactly what we will start to see in Nigeria. There should be an enhanced legal safeguards for elected officials or even Nigerians to prevent any form of arbitrary suspension or denial of access based on political disagreement or even violation of human rights. Where is our safety net? Where is our safety net? When the elections went somehow, they said go to court. Abi? Now, we've gone to court. Where is the safety net in Nigeria today? Where? If the court has given a ruling and you, the Senate, decide to shut your eye against that ruling and turn a blind eye against it and decide to do what you feel that you want to do to show power and authority, then where is the safety net for Nigerians? Where is the safety net for Nigerians? I'm asking again. We can't keep going on like this. Nigeria matter, every day I wake up, it's another headache or the other. One headache or the other every day in Nigeria matter. Why? Why? And you know what is even worse off in all of these things? There is also the fact that Senator Natasha is female. Yes, I will bring it up. I don't bring gender here. I will bring it up. Because this further promotes gender inequality within politics in Nigeria. There has to be more robust effort that must be made to ensure that women in Nigerian politics are not marginalized or oppressed. Gender-sensitive policies should be enacted to ensure that women can actively participate in politics and decision-making without fear of discrimination or exclusion. Look at what is going on. She accused this man of sexual molestation and sexual harassment. Till today, except maybe it was done and I'm not aware of it. Till today, the Senate has not investigated her claims. Of course, she's a very attractive woman. Senator Natasha matter said as attractive, me we not even find reach out. Right? I know how much sexual harassment we have to face every time. Now talk of her in a male-dominated, what's it called, chamber. What do you think will happen? It's a no-brainer. We must start to address the unique challenges that women like Senator Natasha and the likes of her face in a male-dominated political environment. That is very crucial. Political parties and leaders should promote gender inclusivity, protecting the female gender, especially in a male-dominated, political environment. And also, they must promote inclusivity in all political processes. She has been duly elected by her people. Why is she being deprived of the right to represent her people? If Senator Natasha Oduanga was a man, would this process, would he have taken this same direction? Let's be honest and realistic. And this is not me trying to play the gender card. No. That is just realistically, let us look at it. Because this same Senator Godswill Akpabio, when Bukola Saraki was the Senate president, the same exact incident happened. But there was no such thing as suspension. There was no such thing. So somebody will come and say, no, well, that is why you should know that it's an Akpabio thing. It's not a gender thing. But I can tell you for free that if it were a male senator, right, I don't think all this matter would have gotten to where it is. And I'm really praying and hoping that all the allegations, the accusations, the transfer of money or no money and all of those things, I wish all of those evidence will start to come out. I want an investigation, a thorough forensic investigation. Let us even know what exactly is the root cause of all of these things. Because from what we are seeing as outsiders, we see it more as a personal vendetta. Because you're not even respecting anything at all at this point. Your Senate, your constitution within the Senate, you're not respecting it. The judiciary has put a court ruling, you're still not respecting it. A court ruling, you're still not respecting it. All of these things have been affirming the importance of free speech and democratic debate that protects freedom of expression, especially within the parliament. She was not lily-livered. You can tell that she is also very assertive and she's very strong-willed. And she expressed herself. And the freedom of lawmakers to express their views and raise critical issues in parliamentary proceedings should be safeguarded at all costs. We should applaud her. Because that is what you are there for. You're not there to go and play. You are there to stand your ground and say, these are the things that you're facing, and these are the things that are impeding you performing your duties as a senator. Are you saying that she's not allowed to speak, so she should just keep quiet? Anything that is done, just quiet, take it like that? Is that what we are asking for? There has to be that right to debate and contribute to national discourse. It is very vital for a very healthy democracy. It is very vital. So if anything she raises or anybody else raises in that place, it should be addressed critically and considered, and not people being shut down in a place where it's supposed to be equal rights for every lawmaker to be able to speak up. And you think you can shut people down? Where are we heading? Elected officials, you should be held accountable to the public and not to partisan or personal interests. What are you doing to show us that you have our interest at heart? Our interest at heart. Accountable. The judicial. Then I'm going back to the citizens. We all must wake up. Something about impunity. Look at what we have done over the years, allowing it gradually, see where we are. Now imagine this same issue, or imagine what will happen if we keep being docile as citizens. Imagine what will happen in another 4 years, in another 5 years. We will not recognize our country. So the public, you must be able to trust lawmakers. right? And the only way you can trust lawmakers if you start to hold them accountable. And we must ensure that every lawmaker that is representing us has the right to speak freely without any fear of censorship or retaliation. What are they there for? They are there to protect you. They are there to protect your interests. They are there to bring forward the issues that affects you. So if they're not allowed to speak, then what are they there for? They should cuckoo leave now. What's the point? Political leaders, I'm begging you, especially those in the National Assembly, you are meant to act as role models by upholding the rule of law and showcasing, a new or a responsible leadership that respect democratic institutions and legal processes. If you're not doing that, then it means that you do not deserve, right? You do not deserve that seat that you're occupying. Because you are supposed to be the number one citizen that understands that laws are what keeps every nation sane. That what keeps us, that what laws are what keeps us away from chaos. And if you are not respecting those democratic institutions and legal processes, then you do not deserve the seat that you're sitting on. You don't. And there's really need for a increased civic education to help public understand the importance of rule of law and how it affects our lives. Empowering citizens. Citizens now, you need to learn. You have to be knowledgeable of your rights, and you have to know everything. That is the only way. See, if we are knowledgeable as citizens, things will change. Because now we will know how to engage these people and how to ask. As I wrap up this conversation, because my time is fast spent, this ongoing dispute between Natasha and Natasha Akpabio and Senate President Akpabio has brought to the forefront critical questions about the state of our rule of law in Nigeria, right? Especially within the political landscape. The conflict underscores the delicate balance between political authority, institutional integrity, and the protection of individual rights within democratic frameworks. At its core, the issue revolves around the right of elected officials to freely express themselves, participate fully in parliamentary proceedings, and hold government accountable without fear of suppression or retaliation. If allowed to continue unchecked, I don't want to hold my ear for you people. Nigerians, this is you I'm talking to. If allowed to continue unchecked, such actions could set a dangerous precedent, as it has already done, for silencing a lot of people, undermining the very principles that underpins a democratic society. See, the respect of rule of law remains very paramount. And for Nigeria to thrive as a democracy, it is essential. It is very essential that everyone upholds the rule of law. It means that lawmakers, they have to ensure they can operate, in a system where human rights and every kind of right is respected. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is essential.
We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our having conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.